Deus mortem est. A few non-serious ones. You already asked that's alright. What would you do if you suddenly found out that you were pregnant? I consult medical professionals. I think that would be a first. Something needs to be discovered there. And if you had to commit suicide, how would you do it? Probably jumping off of something really tall. Yeah. I think that's what I would do. Because that I could probably pretty much assure that no one else would get hurt. I was thinking about, driving real crazy on the highway and purposely crashing myself into something, but you take the risk of hurting somebody else. I wouldn't be able to do that, so yeah. Maybe if I had access to a gun, I just, blow my brains out, but that's such a mess. I think it would actually be less of a mess if I jumped off of something really high. Just One Earth. What 5 people, alive or dead, do you admire most? I'm one of those weird people that I don't really idolize others. This was a problem for me in elementary, so I think it was kindergarten. Not kindergarten, it was like 2nd grade, and we had to write a little blurb about who's your hero and why, and I was dumbfounded. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't understand. I think I finally settled on, I think a cartoon character. It was like Voltron or something. But yeah, I don't idolize people, so do I admire most? This is hard. Copernicus, Galileo, but yeah, Galileo. Martin Luther King Jr., Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, this is so hard. They're all dead, aren't they? Everybody I admire is dead. Oh well. Who else? Oh, Attila the Hun. You show those Romans, you fucked them up. Game Shark 1234. How come Mongolians always keep trying to break down my shitty wall? It's because you're building a shitty wall. Leave it down. Maybe talk to the Mongolians. Maybe they're not so bad. Free Baker. How many words per millennium can you read? Crap. I'm actually a slow reader, so it's probably less than average. I'm kind of a cinematic reader. I read, especially nonfiction. I read a book, and I'm building the scene in my head. And if later I find that where I had placed certain characters or the way I had pictured a part of the scenery ends up to not fit with, what's revealed later, I've got to go back and read that part and, make it image-wise work. So yeah, it makes me kind of a slow reader, but a thorough reader. So, words per millennium. Oh, my goodness. Probably just a few trillion. Yeah, real slow. Do you think technology for better fuel economy has been suppressed? Not deliberately, I don't think, by oil companies. I think it would take some forethought on their part to try to change gears, as it were. It was easier for them to continue to do what they were doing throughout the 70s, 80s, 90s. And now, when it's clear that the supply is probably at its peak and it's going to do nothing but dwindle down from here, now they're changing gears, making alternatives. So it's probably just a market phenomenon and not a deliberate suppression by oil companies. That's what I think. Have you ever felt brain damaged? Only a little bit. Yeah. I clunked my head a couple of times. I'm not sure if I think I actually had a good-sized concussion once, and my thinking was definitely impaired. I guess now's a good time to bring up my snowboarding story. Like, I've got just one. Well, just one that's, kind of fantastic. The other ones are, you've seen it before. Yeah, I crushed my hand on a rail. Like, yeah, who hasn't done it? Um, Me and a group of friends went up to the western side of the Upper Peninsula. It's a bit mountainous up there, copper country, but the copper is, not there anymore. Anyway, there was one ski resort called Blackjack, and even though there was freezing rain over the night, we decided to go in the morning. Stupid, stupid, stupid. So anyway, it's noisy. If you haven't been skiing or snowboarding before, when freezing rain hits the top of the snow, it's like turning the snow into a cheese grater. It becomes crunchy and crumbly at the same time and hard. And if you rub your skin on it, you will more than likely abrade yourself. And it is noisy when you're skiing on it. When you try to turn, just that's what it sounds like. And the whole board, especially on a snowboard, the whole board vibrates and kind of amplifies the sound. It sounds horrible. It's uncomfortable to ski in. It's just generally shitty conditions. So that's what we were skiing in. So we were skiing in this. Actually, we're all boarders, so we were boarding in that. It was shit. And we, new to the area, hadn't been to the resort before. Go down this one area, end up in a terrain park, right? Snowboarders' terrain park. So we're trying to make our way to the bottom of the hill. Of course, me being an idiot, I'm leading the way. And I'm just kind of skirting the edge. There really wasn't much. It was about, 4 or 5 feet wide, which, as far as skiing and snowboarding goes, that's not a lot of room to maneuver. 4 or 5 feet wide in between trees and the terrain structures. And who's in front of me? 2 skiers facing each other and chatting and blocking the whole width. Without enough time, and with the terrain that I'm boarding on, I don't have enough time to actually slow down without just purposefully falling down. So, in that split second, thinking that I could actually maneuver or just go over one jump on the in the terrain park and sufficiently land it. But with the gray shine that we had, I couldn't tell how steep this one obstacle was. It wasn't actually a jump, it was a spine, which is just a long ridge that you're supposed to use to turn on it, make a banking turn on it. You're not supposed to jump over the top of it, so, what do? I'm cutting in toe side, and I jump over the top of it, and of course it's so steep, and the change in momentum is so great, my legs buckle from the force. And, my legs buckle and just whomp against the surface of it and shooting up. And I continue to rotate in the air. The first thing to hit the ground is my face. I land square on my face. So of course I cut my face all up on the top of the crunchy snow. And of course, yes, I was wearing my glasses. So face crunch. And it knocked me out. I was out. Not for very long. It was probably just a second or two, but I was, totally blacked out. And I come to, I open my eyes, and I see my glasses are kind of bent funny, and I've got crunchy snow in between my glasses and my eyes. My friend Andy came up. He got to me first. And he's like, "Dude, are you okay?" And I was like, first thing I was like, check my glasses. I think they're broken. They weren't broken. They were actually they were kind of bent and mangled, but the glass itself was okay. And my face was all cut up and had it was like somebody had shot me with glass shards just all over my face. It was horrible. And I was pretty much messed up for the rest of the day. I wasn't thinking quite right, so I'm pretty sure that I had a decent-sized concussion from that. And I am well over the 10 minutes on this.